What up, guys? Back at you with another episode of Santa Cruz Medicinals Radio. We have the world's healthiest degenerate. How did that shit all start? How did it all start, man? Break it down.
Dude, year ago, before college, before I graduated college, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start making content again. What are the things I love? What can I talk about? Tequila, hitting the gym, finding balance, and, spreading jokes and humor.
Facts.
And so I just, began to run with it. Finding balance was always a big challenge of mine, and I finally began to grasp it towards the end of college.
Yeah.
So that was, a message I wanted to preach to the world. And since then, we've just been ripping seeps and getting after it.
Dude, I think one of the first videos I saw you were like walking, I don't know if it was Miami or New York, wherever the fuck you were, and you were talking about they were just like recovering from getting sick and like what you were doing. You started just like fucking rambling on. And I was like, wait, this dude kind of knows his shit. Like you were like,
I remember that video.
like vitamin C, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Mix a little zinc. And I'm like, oh, this dude, like you kind of know your shit. Like, how did you get into health like that?
Yes, I mean, so growing up, dude, I was super overweight, just not happy with how I looked, and began going to the gym, began just watching countless hours of YouTube, from nutrition protocol, workout regimen, and then my dad as well, a little bit of a hardo when it comes to, taking your vitamins and eating right.
Totally.
And dude, one day to the other, initially my motivation was, let me get jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just look good. I want to, get
bodybuilding type shit.
Get laid and shit. And then suddenly I was like, whoa, like, fuck that. I feel like insane.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I began to realize how good you feel when you're dialed, I would say, 90% of the time, and besides one day or two of the weekend, I was just like, dude, there's no other way to live.
Yeah.
That's
no,
it.
Totally, dude. And I think your shit appeals to so many people because I'm definitely on like one end of the spectrum. Like you just lived a whole day in the life for us. Like I get it can be a little extreme, right? Like we don't really drink alcohol. We might microdose some shrooms, or there might be a little bit of the Zaza going around occasionally, but like really no alcohol. There's obviously no like drugs of any sort. And like we do go like pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of people, and this was me in college, like when I started getting into health, I was in college, and like I definitely was like, well, I have to party, I have to drink a little bit. And so you try to like, and they work, like you come up with these like kind of things that like of how to like navigate that whole system, because there's people that want to be healthy, but they're like, yo, I'm going out tonight, I'm going to the fucking football game, I'm going to the party after, I'm going to be at the bars. What can I drink? What can I do to make me feel better? So like, what are some of your things with like going out and drinking that you've changed where now you're like, I can go out, kind of, do this, and I wake up feeling decent?
I would say the number one change that I made was eliminating force sending, which is what I call bored drinking. So like it's the worst thing. And I feel like a lot of times, like in college, I would just be like, yo, there's no plan. Let's just buy a case of beers or start slamming some drinks and just get faded with the boys. I began to start throwing on more movies and shit and just chilling and appreciating the next day to be productive. And I think that's when it really began to click. Bro,
and just doing nothing, dude. I would always actually like, I'm still friends with all my boys from high school. Some of them obviously are like here, and like, I would get like really frustrated with like a few of my friends because like we would chief it. I'm always saying code words for the things. People are always like, you always say this, like, I don't say that like off camera, like, but there's code words, guys. We'd like, I would hate just chiefing it and doing nothing, bro. We'd just sit there and just be playing video games. And I would always be the dude, like, let's go do something. Like, and then I guess like a little bit later in life, then I found like the crew I'm with like now where like, it's like mountain biking and like surfing, like integrated with those. So like, that's why like, I like your content a lot, is because people think I'm like really anti this or anti that. Cause if they don't know my content, they just see it peripherally. But it's like, I'm all about having a good time, whatever that means to you. Like, I want people to feel good.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, like what is it now to you? So like, you stop, like you're just like over the shit, sitting with your boys, kicking a 30 rack of cores, doing nothing. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, like that was one of the things. Is just like, dude, like don't just drink to drink. If you're gonna go out on one day on the weekend, have fun with purpose. Go socialize. Step out of your comfort zone. Actually intentionally going out and having fun and earning that night.
If once you learn what's healthy and what's not, don't waste the stuff that's unhealthy but you enjoy on nothing. So like when people will be like, do you ever have a pizza, or do you ever have like a big cheat meal? And I really don't. Like I don't do that. Like I might have some tacos, like what I always say is like, well, whatever. But let's say pizza is somebody's thing. They love pizza. I would never tell them, hey, to get healthy, you have to completely eliminate pizza from your life. But it's like, there's multiple ways to go about that. If you're gonna order a Domino's alone and crush that whole pizza and just like cry in your boxers, that's disgusting. And I'm gonna tell you to never do that again in your life. If you're gonna go to some nice pizzeria and in San Francisco, you're going, they have these pizzerias with like the sourdough crust, like, you know, and like New York, and do that. Do that. Like go, like do it if you're gonna fucking do it. So
I think also the sense of like appreciation, those moments of leisure and shit. It's just like you begin to like. I was not happy going out 3-4 days a week, just
going through
and
the
feeling
motions,
like dog shit on like up until Tuesday, and I have one day a week where I'm just like, oh, I finally feel good today. None of my fucking workouts feel good. High blood pressure, inflammation, dude. Uber Eats. I'm like, fuck that, dude. You don't feel good doing that.
100%, man. I feel like a lot of shit is just routine for people, and the routine is so unhealthy, bro. The thing that most people get in is just like, well, this is what we do. I go work at this job. I'm not going to step outside that, and I'm going to drink this many days per week. This is what we eat. This is what we do. It's normal to do this. And the normal lifestyle in today's society is pretty fucked, dude. Yeah. And it doesn't lead people to good like outcomes. So what is it like today now? So like you stop doing that.
Yeah. Nowadays it's really just, you know, I preach this rule to a lot of the people that follow me and stuff. Is really the 85-15% rule, which is 85% is 6 days out of 7 days in a week, 1 day a week. You know, don't just crash out and lose your mind. I don't even believe in cheat days because the term cheat is associated with just full destruction.
Totally.
But just, you know, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And have some control. And I think that for me has been a big game changer because for a while I was like setting these unrealistic expectations. I'm going to go fully sober right now at 23 years old. I'm not going to go out ever. And I realized I was like, dude, like this is not that attainable right now for me. I know maybe at some point I'll do it for a more prolonged period. And then when I really started going with more balance, and that, you know, conscious reward system really where you appreciate those days.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's just been so much fucking better.
It is, man. And like, I feel like for a lot of people that are young, like, social connection and social bond is one of the most important aspects of human health ever that we ever know of. It's the number one thing. I don't care if you don't take any supplements and don't eat well. If you have extremely good social connections, you are going to have one of the healthiest aspects of your life dialed in through that. And unfortunately, just the way we're at and the place we're at in society is drinking is a big part of that.
Yeah.
For young people. Now, I always preach like, I mean, we have a whole big ass squad of friends. I don't need that anymore. I've gotten to a place in my life where I don't drink and I have legit social connections with all my friends, right? But it's hard to get there. And like, if you're like in a new city or like going to college and you're like young, like I'm not going to bullshit around with anybody and say, oh yeah, no, just tell everybody you don't drink at all. And like, life's going to go the same for you. No. And like, you probably do need to develop some protocols of like, go out, have like one like vodka club soda or something, or tequila soda, like stuff like that. Like, and then like get a fucking sparkling water. And it's just like you know, like I used to do that when I was younger. Like I'd go out and maybe have one drink. I'd take like my vitamins like in my pocket, like N-acetylcysteine, magnesium, vitamin C, like electrolytes before, like literally before I had the company and everything, like still like boom. And then like I'd have like one drink and then I would just get like a sparkling water with a lime in it. And like nobody's going to ask anyway. And even if somebody does, you're like, oh, I'm having a water real quick and then I'm going to have another drink. Like it's whatever. Like you can kind of work your way around it and still like, if you are a stoked person, you're out there, nobody's going to be like, you know, oh, you have to be drunk. Like, yeah, so that's like a big fucking thing.
Yeah, I think a big challenge as well that I faced and I think others face is just like that just like your buddies just like, you know, just like chirping you and shit. It's just like, 100%. Oh dude, you know, have another drink, have another drink, have another drink. And like I just began to realize that like, you know, your realest homies, bro, just like don't give a fuck, you know, what you do. And so like I genuinely don't even eat like on the days I know I'm gonna go like have a couple of drinks, like I'll have a smaller than normal meal before just because I don't want to be digesting if I'm gonna have a couple tequilas. Sure. And I just, you know, save more money and just get a quick buzz.
Yeah.
So, totally. I mean, those small little things, which, you know, you gotta, I mean, if you find it to be weird to do that, or if you find it weird to drink electrolytes after going out for some drinks and you want to feel like shit the next day, then, you know, do your thing. But there's ways to strategize with minimal effort that go a long way.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, dude, I totally agree. I have friends that to this day, we're about to go to the lake with our buddies. One of my buddies, Connor, he's, you know, big handlebar mustache. He's our fucking dog. Like we've known him forever, but like he will be on a boat yelling at me to drink some whiskey. And like, I won't, you know what I mean? I just like, well, maybe once a year I'll take that fucking bottle and I'll just nip it a little bit and he gets so stoked. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, he loves me. He loves me for who I am. Like if there's really a person in my life that would genuinely be upset that I wasn't drinking with them, well then go fuck yourself. Like you need to have that confidence on your own to be like, dude, if you're actually going to get mad if I'm not drinking, like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, like I get like the chirping at him and come on, like, you know, like Albert sometimes like, take a bong, Rip Brendan. And like, I don't like, I haven't done the Zaz for a little bit, but like I occasionally will a few times here. That's like funny. Like you need to like let your friends fucking do that. But if you were to get like actually mad, like what the fuck? Like you need to get high. Like that's like not a good friend.
I think you're real. You never have to say no more than twice to your realest friends. It's like,
totally.
yo, Brendan, you want to rip the bong? And you're like, nah, dude, I'm good. And then I look at you one more time because you're my dog, and I'm like, come on, bro, do it. And then you're like, nah. And then after 2, you're like, all right, bro,
exactly.
Do your thing.
Exactly.
If you need to give an explanation to someone, like, and you need to say no more than 3 times, that's not your homie.
Yeah, that's weird.
That was something that like, I'm such a yes person where it's like, I always want to say yes. Like, oh, we're going out. Yes. Oh, you want to take shots? Yes. Oh, you want to do this? Yes. I was like, bro, you got to say yes more to yourself where it's just like those, you know, cause dude, fuck it sometimes, you know, you don't want to, that's so hard for people to understand.
It is, but like, okay, people want their friends to do that because they want everyone, all the boys letting loose, having a good time, getting stoked. That's what they want. And what I realize is if you can help yourself get there without having to get drunk, without having to get high, people will start chirping at you less. Like on this boat in a few days, I'm going to be screaming and jumping off it, and we're going to be doing like crazy dumb shit. Like if I was just like this and then someone gave me some whiskey or tequila and I got super stoked, well, then I would understand why people were yelling at me to get like that. So you have to like find that inner stoke, like for sure. That's important. But so let's get into it. So if people are going to go out and drink, what is like your little protocol today? What are some tips you have for people if they are going to drink?
I would say medium meal before, nothing too big, because if you eat too much, then you're gonna have to drink a lot, right, to catch a buzz. So medium meal, tequila soda limes or vodka soda limes, clear liquor, less calories, less additives would be better.
Absolutely.
Avoid sugar at all costs. Like unless I'm having a glass of wine with my parents, I'm not having sugar in any sort of liquor. And then electrolytes before, if you remember, if you can, minimum afterwards. And next day, fucking, you know, get back to the races. Wake up, more electrolytes, go on a walk, sweat it out a bit, find that present moment. And it's really not that crazy.
No,
but that, and honestly, like when it comes to the drunchies, like if I'm ever like that hungry when I get home, you know, eat some eggs, eat some beef jerky, once in a blue moon order. But
absolutely, dude, I like that, man. There's a lot of things. We had this functional medicine doctor in here, and he's a very healthy guy, but he's, you know, just like he's a guy. And so like, he's like, I like to drink sometimes. And he has like a whole protocol. He's like, I take N-acetylcysteine, which is really good for like your liver, great supplement in general. Like digestive enzymes before he goes out, magnesium, electrolytes, you know what I mean? All this shit, vitamin C. Then like when he gets home, it's like activated charcoal.
That I need to try, which you haven't shut up about.
Activated charcoal is great. So like activated charcoal is what they would give you if you went to the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
Right.
Which I hope you don't do tonight.
No. Maybe one day we do a little activated charcoal sui combo biohacking.
Yeah.
We save some degens.
I could show you the whole like kind of like thing that I would do if I drink, but I don't really drink anymore. Like I was saying, like if I'm with like my fiance's like dad, we're in Mexico and he wants to have a tequila. It's like a few times per year, if that, for me. I think the most important thing with alcohol is just knowing that it's bad for you and then doing what you want with that information.
Absolutely.
Because there are legit people, bro, who think having 3-4 drinks a week is good for them because they feel calmer when they do it and they get social connection. And while there's some truth to that, to think that the benefits come from the alcohol, this is just goofy. It's just not based.
I think it's goofy as fuck. And I the first tequila soda lime video I ever made, I said the cleanest, most purest form of poison you can. I said poison you can consume if you want to burn brain cells is tequila soda lime. And I love tequila, and I genuinely think because I grew up with a family who drinks, I'll controllably consume it for the rest of my life. You know, that's what I see. And you know, not acknowledging that it's fucking bad for you is just awful. It's dude.
There's health influencers. There's health influencers that take money from companies being like, this wine is healthy. It's like, well,
it's not. I also think the LeBron James one glass of wine a night's the biggest marketing shit I've ever heard in my life. He's not drinking wine every night.
No, dude, he's not. He's not. He's fucking. He's goofy. But you know, all the studies are done on wine that like say that they're healthier. You know what that is, right?
I mean, I've heard the vasodilation or like the aphrodisiac effect. Like
all they do is they survey people who drink red wine often. And then they make assumptions on their health. Guess what? People who drink red wine every night or multiple times per week in the United States also are of higher income. You could do the very same study going, we surveyed people who make over 100K per year. They're going to have better health outcomes. So then they make these like, well, they had 15% less cancer. Yeah. It's not related to drinking red wine. It's just like you can just do these survey-based studies and make any assumption ever. people who buy Santa Cruz Paleo supplements, you can make some fucking thing. They're extremely healthy. These are people that are into health. Like it's like, yeah, it's so crazy.
That's the challenge though. I think it's like, depending on your surrounding, depending on what you're interested in, like, alcohol poison, like that correlation is probably just people like, oh, it's bad for you. It's booze, you'll get fat, whatever. It's really bad. It's really bad for you.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I just think for me, just being aware of it,
totally,
when I consume it, just gives me so much more of a sense of, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
That way, the next day, that was another thing. Is like, I'm not hard on myself after I have a couple of drinks. I know that, just get back to the routine.
Absolutely.
Have a couple, hydrate and just get back to it.
Yeah.
And that's because I understand, you know what I mean? Yeah. That it's a substance.
It's important, man. I think it's really important for a lot of people to learn, bro. Because like they're gonna encounter alcohol if you're a young man, like out there in the United States or anywhere across the world. Let's get into the Zins. People for some reason think that they were like, don't have this guy on, he promotes Zins. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, first of all, what you promote with Zins is quitting vaping and cigarettes for the Zins.
Yeah.
So that is an overall positive change. If somebody is smoking cigarettes or vaping, and then they go towards the smokeless, just nicotine, that is a benefit. When did you start? Overall, though, like, yes, guys, my opinion is don't do the Zins. They're not healthy.
I mean,
for you,
for me too. Don't Zin. Don't use nicotine. Don't use alcohol. Don't use anything.
Yeah.
If you can. I smoked cigarettes for a year. I vaped for 2 years.
Yeah.
I would wake up and reach over to my right AC unit straight to my mouth. Terrible hand to mouth habit.
Yeah.
And I fucking felt like shit.
It's so bad.
And aside
additives in there, bro, the vitamin, you're vaping vitamin, you're vaping seed oils. Literally, it's seed oils sometimes like in those things, and propylene glycol and shit, and vitamin E, and you're just coating your lungs with an experiment.
Yeah, it's nasty. There's nothing short of nasty. But I myself, and I've said it before, I feel a sort of the cognitive enhancement I have when I'm on my fucking triple espresso after drinking my electrolytes in the morning, and then after maybe at 11 a.m. I fast as well in the mornings. I like how I feel mentally in a non-fed state.
Yeah,
with caffeine and hydration. I'll put a fucking Zinni in at 11 in the morning, and then till 1 p.m. I'm locked in.
Yeah,
but that's my approach. You know what I mean? I'm not telling really just.
No, I think that's fine. Nicotine,
and it's under control. You guys sometimes see the fucking helicopter flying down, making jokes. I also do that, but it's controlled, really. Yeah. And I think, it's hard to see it that way, but
no, I get it, man. I think like nicotine has cognitive enhancement benefits. It does. Like it's a cognitive enhancer. There's plenty of studies on it, and it can help with aging in the brain. It can help with a lot of stuff. Focus. I just think from like my point of view, there's tons of other things that will help with that.
Yeah.
And I think also in those nicotine pouches, there's artificial sweeteners. There's other additives in there that I'm a little skeptical of. And I am skeptical of if nicotine we're going to find. There's some cell culture studies, so they're not in humans. And a lot of the studies are just so muddied because they use the tobacco, right? So there's not too many studies on just the nicotine pouches. But I think what we'll find is what the cell culture studies are showing, like it might go this way of oral cancer increase and colon cancer. We're seeing like you're putting this kind of stimulant in your body, right? And you're swallowing it. I don't know if like frequent use of that would be, great. However, coffee appears to enhance colon health. You know what I mean? And definitely black coffee is good for you in moderation, like not cancerous at all.
That's one thing I'm trying to also educate myself on a bit more is high quality coffee because of the toxicity in the bean. And to be honest, like Bustelo, my favorite coffee, instantaneous Cuban, $6 fucking kilo. It's not good at all. Like when it comes to quality, it's something my dad chirps at me all the time. He's like, get the good quality
Cuban
beans.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I try to get like organic coffee. Coffee is a crop that's sprayed with pesticides.
Right.
And there's all these scientists on, the app saying that, well, there's all these people that say that pesticides aren't a big deal. Okay. And I oftentimes they get exposed. It's like they worked for Monsanto 10 years ago. Now they're making content. It's like, really, there's a lot of sketch stuff with that. I think we'll find glyphosate is a huge issue. Glyphosate is just like glyphosate and gluten. I mean, it's antibacterial. Your body's made up of bacteria. I cannot see even residual glyphosate exposure being a good thing. They have done studies on people who work with glyphosate, clear issues. But then the people who defend it go, well, those are people working with it. They're spraying it. You're not going to get exposed to that much. I'm not one of these people that goes, there's clear studies showing somebody that ingested a good amount of this poison. It's horrible. You should ingest a small amount of it. You'll be fine. I don't know. I'd rather buy the organic coffee and not have glyphosate exposure.
Yeah, I've been trying out different coffees and stuff like that for sure. But your nicotine point as well, there's actually one company, I don't work with them or anything, but they make these mints,
Yeah.
which is even cleaner than Zyn, and I really like them. Even their 3 milligram ones were good. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, dude, obviously, I think like North Star. I think down the line, like just the diet, depending on who I'm around and all those different things, like definitely tone down the TSLs down the line, depending on work. And
Yeah.
I don't know about the Nick because of the cognitive enhancement aspect of it, even though I can use other things, but it's like I told you,
dude, it's honestly like overall, like why I fuck with like a lot of your stuff is like you're still on the path to health and like feeling good and like self-improvement overall. I don't care if somebody's vegan. I don't care if they don't do what I do. Like if somebody's on the path of like getting themselves healthier overall, I'm a fucking fan of that. Dude.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I view it as in like, I used to just be so focused on like so long term and like think, not in the present moment, but just like you look at like the gradual steps, from 3 days a week, not eating right, not conscious of what's going in to then now controllably, taking an approach on it, more deeper work and stuff like that.
100%.
It's a long game, bro. I think that's the most important thing too. Sometimes people think like, you try and make such a radical change so quickly.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, dude,
yeah.
Slow down a bit.
100%.
It's a long game.
Yeah. You got to integrate it with your life, bro. Like the only reason this shit works, what I do is like, cause it integrates in my life. It's like, you just spend a day with us. Like it's genuinely how I live. Like surf, go to the gym, go to jujitsu, eat healthy food in between. Like it's easy.
And I think the surrounding too is huge for you. Like, dude, if I could spend a month here, to be honest, doing this every fucking day,
Please
no
do.
problem.
Yeah,
I could.
Yeah. Tell me about your morning routine. You were telling. Yeah, I think that'll help.
Yeah.
people.
So I mean, it's simple. I'm living at home now with mom. Wake up, open up the blind all the way, sunlight.
Shut down that melatonin production. Get the light on the body, in the eyes. Yes.
Ripping, straight to the kitchen. Massive mason jar of water. 1 scoop of. Recently, it's been more of that dragon fruit.
Let's go.
But it ran out just 2 days ago.
Steal some, bro.
Dragon fruit. Weights, if depending on how I'm feeling that morning, hopefully we make it to the 60 minutes.
Yep.
Maybe 45, whatever. Wait as much as I can to have my coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, 60 to 90 minutes after you wake up, your adenosine levels drop. Coffee will just hit different. Yeah. It just helps a lot. Like you want high cortisol right when you wake up, and then your cortisol drops a little bit. And if you time your coffee, 60 to 90 minutes is a nice little sweet spot.
And it's crazy how much that small change in your morning routine can translate to your night routine. Like when I would look at my cortisol data in the morning and I would wake up, and then if I drink the coffee as soon as I wake up, it's just like moonshot. Yeah. Cortisol, just like, and then you feel you don't even reap the benefits of the caffeine as much as you could. Yeah. So it's not really sunlight. I mean, hydration, sunlight. Sometimes we do the mental clarity breath work, but I haven't been as consistent with it. Then my caffeine. Yeah. And then, maybe 11 a.m., a little zinny poo.
Fuck yeah.
Keep the work going on
Dialed
the computer.
In. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for Richie. We're going to design a nootropic. We're working on one. I'm going to make like a really loaded up nootropic, like bacopa, ginseng, alpha GPC, acetyl L-carnitine, maybe some huperzine serrata in there. Like some crazy shit, like some legit stuff. And I think maybe if you get something like that really fires you up and gets you feeling dialed in, then maybe you'll like a few days a week you'll replace a Zyn with that. But fuck with it. How do you feel after today?
I feel amazing, dude. I feel so good. Like I can't even like this is peak, to be honest. Like I said before, as much as I love fucking dancing and being a degen and drinking the TSLs and which, love it, there is nothing that comes to the feeling of just having a day and just routine. It's like you cannot like you feel so good. Yeah. Like you can't make it up. You feel so good.
What was your favorite part? You lifted weights, you surfed, you did the jujitsu, like
I was getting in the water, dude. That was so sick, especially because I mean the beach in Miami. I just love the ocean. The ocean cures, man. It just it makes you feel so good.
It's all water, dude.
Yeah, getting in there, getting on the board, eating shit a couple times. So fun. Standing up for 2 seconds, being outdoors. Yeah, that was nice. I like the colder water too.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
That dude. I loved.
You got to move down here, dude. Maybe we'll get him out of Miami someday.
I'll be back out here though. You best believe it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Sheep. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Leave your questions because I want to jump back in your community too. So I want to say what's up to them.
Oh, for sure. That'd be sick.
Yeah, super fun.
They love that.
Yeah, I fuck with them. So gang, bro. Thank you so much.
Sick day. Thank you for having me.
Gang, bro.